Oh my gosh. Hello. Welcome back to Take Two Podcast.
You ain't tell me we was gonna start?
I'm sorry, babe. He's playing with the soundboard.
It wasn't no sound check, 1 2 1 2, nothing.
Oh.
Babe.
Yeah.
Mm.
What? Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there. I hope
Amen.
that everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. I know that I did. My mother did. My grandmother did. And that's really all that matters.
That's all that matters.
So we had a fabulous Mother's Day.
Right?
I think the surprise that we had, and by we I mean my siblings and I and Aaron and Jalen, I think it went off smashingly.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it was. Did you think it went well, baby? Oh, okay.
I think it went well. I think Betty was surprised. I think my mom was surprised. I think yeah. I think it was, you put together some pretty fantastic stuff. And I don't think
Thank you.
Absolutely. I don't think you give yourself enough credit sometimes. But to say this was kind of not last minute, but to say it was kind of like short notice and like, hey, let's put something like together. You threw it together pretty good. So
Yeah, because plans changed. Yeah. We originally were going to do something else, and that fell through. So here we were today with an idea that was a bit of a stretch, but we got it together. So that's all that matters.
There you go.
So, other than Mother's Day, this week is going to be an amazing week. Babe and I are so happy. We're so excited. You've heard us mention on previous podcasts that we were moving.
Right.
And this is the week. Woo!
Hype.
We are so hyped. We're moving into our house. This is going to be our first time living together. So this is going to be really exciting, and we cannot wait to get it started.
I'm ready to get it started in more ways than one.
Yes, I'm so ready. We went shopping today, so we just got back from shopping.
Oh my God.
And I had to shield Aaron from seeing the total. So I just said, give me the card, and I went ahead and took care of it, because had he seen how much we spent, which it really was not a bad amount for all the things that we got.
Right.
If he had seen the amount, though, he would have freaked out. So he fails to realize that I'm here to help him.
Yes.
And we're here to work as a team, and we're going to get through everything together. Physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually. We're going to get through all of it. Definitely sexually. And he's, never mind, Lord Jesus. But, yeah, so we're moving this week.
Say what you got to say.
We're so excited, and I'm just excited about decorating, because that is like my passion.
Yeah.
Interior design. I love just being able to put colors together and have creative ideas and, kind of make your house a home from there.
Yeah. Well, I think you, judging on what you were grabbing off the shelves, I think it's clear that you have, obviously put a lot of thought into this. And it's not just colors you put together, but it's like, themes for the different rooms, and what's going to go with what, and what's going to be too much or what's not enough decorate. And I think it's, people often say a woman's touch is like, what makes a house a home. But I think you've gone above and beyond, and you've done a fantastic job of getting this stuff together. So I'm proud of you.
Thanks, babe.
You have shocked me.
Have I?
I'm like, look at you go. I see your vision.
Aw, thanks, babe.
So way to go, baby.
Yeah, we're going. One of the themes that we're going for is a coastal theme in our kitchen, because we will be living on the beach. We're literally like 2.5 blocks from the beach. So I wanted to do like a rustic, farm type, coastal type, like all kind of mixed into one with very like earthy colors. So like teals and beige and white and, So that's the vision that I have, that I've been seeing in my head. So I'm trying to put it all together.
There you go.
So yeah.
But you've been doing a good job. And that seems like that's been a theme of this whole situation.
Really? What's the theme?
Just hand you the card and step aside. But I think that's typical us. I think there's, me and you get in these situations often where it's like, look, just trust me, I'll get you through this. Mm-hmm. And one of us either comes directly out and says it, or, just like applying for the place and all that, and in so many other different areas in our relationship, it's always been like, hey, just trust me, babe, I got this. I'll get us to where we want to be.
Ask Aaron how many times I've said, babe, just trust me, like it's gonna work out, and how many times I've been correct. I think I'm 100 for 100.
Your batting average is awesome.
Yeah, it is, because every time I've said, everything's going to be fine, don't worry, don't stress, because he has a tendency to do that. All the time. And we've had this conversation before where he is not the spontaneous one. He's the planner, and I'm not the planner. I'm the spontaneous. And when I'm just like, let's go do this, like, let's jump into this, he literally freaks the fuck out. So, but like I said, ask him. How many times have how many times have I said, just trust me, like everything is going to be okay, and it actually turned out that way.
It actually turned out that way.
Yeah, so, but enough of that. Mm-hmm. What are we discussing today, baby?
Well,
because it is the real AA Ron's turn.
So I have a topic of discussion.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm gassy.
Ooh, you have to let that burp out?
I had to let that burp out.
Mm-hmm. The topic of discussion today, and for those of you listening to the podcast, to have discussion with your significant other about how close is too close.
What do you mean?
In saying that, I mean, a lot of times in relationships, it's like we discussed today, the longer you live with somebody, the more their habits you pick up on, the more of you see them in their, their intimate times, their
natural habitat.
Their natural habitat. And I think especially in today's society, with social media, we have a tendency to always try to put our best foot forward and paint the best image of ourselves as possible. Mm-hmm. But living with each other, as that goes on, like, how much should you see of the other person? Do you feel comfortable passing gas around your significant other? Do you feel comfortable using the bathroom with the door open around your significant other? Using the bathroom while your significant other is taking a shower? Using the bathroom at the same time? Ooh,
How you do that?
Oh, babe, I've heard some horror stories. I used to know this one couple, and the woman would be sitting down peeing, and the guy would literally piss between her legs.
Oh.
And I would say,
I figured that would be the way.
What is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, why not just wait?
What is wrong with y'all? So that's my thing.
That's like being really extra, and either they only had one bathroom in their home.
They only had one bathroom. Yeah. And I don't know, so that's the thing. So how close is too close? How much privacy do you need? And this is a good thing to talk about in this season of our lives, because now we're getting ready to move in together, and we got things kind of figured out and all that. And so how close is too close? Where do you draw the line with your significant other? Because I think sometimes the more you know about somebody, the more, it can go either way. I'll save that for my comment. Give me your thoughts.
So here's my thing. I think that if you're married to this person, if you're living with this person, if you're intimate with this person,
right?
Like, I don't think that you can, I don't think there is a such thing as too close. Mm-hmm. Because if you're intimate with somebody, you've already given them the most important part of you.
Ooh, so good. I like that.
So I feel like that makes you close. Mm-hmm. And of course, at the beginning of every relationship, you're not going to want to like pass gas or use the bathroom in front of your significant other. But there comes a point in time where you're just like, the hell with that. Like, whatever, I got to fart. And right. As far as us, like, we're way past that point. It took a little while to get there. But, you know, we fart in front of each other. Burp, pee, poop, you know. Whatever. So I don't think there is such a thing as getting too close to somebody who you're living with, somebody who you're either married to or potentially going to be married to. Right. There's just no such thing. And especially for people who have children, because once you see your significant other give birth, like,
ooh, hold up. Go ahead with your thought.
I think that's like the ultimate, like...
Really?
You're watching a human being come out of my hoo-ha. Like, there is no such thing as too close at that point. Okay. Like, we are one. We have made a child. We have... made...
Okay. Hold on.
Ooh.
So I have to
scratch the record on me.
I have to interject. So how does this work? Because here's the thing, and I'm gonna let you finish your thoughts. So please don't forget where you're at. Why is it a thing? Because me and you've talked about it before. Walking naked in front of your significant other, moving around the house naked, being seen in broad daylight naked in front of your significant other can oftentimes be a big thing. Mm-hmm. But you're saying you've already given the most important part of yourself to them. Mm-hmm. So why is it so many times in relationships that people get out the shower and they're like, oh, don't look at me. Or, oh, don't.
I think because...
And you're saying, oh...
When you're intimate with somebody, like, you're kind of in a moment. And when you're in a moment, like, everything else kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, okay, I can agree with that.
But I believe that everybody has something about their body that they feel is flawed and that they, that they don't want to, highlight or put a spotlight on. So I can see how sometimes it could be like, oh, I don't want you looking at, oh, don't look at me, this and that. But
right.
I mean, there's a sense of comfortability.
Okay.
Where, like, you might be saying that, but then it starts to die. Like, you might be saying it a lot at the beginning, but then eventually it's just like, oh, whatever it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like with me and you, I feel like I've never seen you give birth, and this is what made me interject. I've never seen you give birth, but at the same time, like...
Oh, but you will.
But I will. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I should have been on the soundboard for that one. But I will. But at the same time, I mean, I think the difference with me and you is that we always knew of each other ever since we were 17 years old. And I think we're meeting, like, back up in our early 30s. So I think at this point in our life, it's like, come on. Like, we're old enough, we're mature enough, we're kind of past a lot of this, small stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're new to each other, or we were new to each other. So that's different.
That's true.
It's not like, yes, we've known each other since we were 16, 17, and we've been in a relationship ever since then. That's not the case.
That's not the case, but maybe it's just my personality, and listeners, you guys can, give your feedback in the comments below, or, even just talk it out with your folks. Like, maybe it's just my personality, but if that's the hardest thing to do, like, I feel super comfortable being nude in front of you.
Well, that might just be you, babe. Not everybody's like that.
And I don't know. You can give your comments, but did it take me very long to get
naked in front of me? Huh? Is that what you're asking?
Did it take me very long to get comfortable being nude in front of you?
No, not at all. You had no problem. Me, on the other hand, but I have a whole different set of issues, so,
it could be the personality, what you've been through in past relationships, what you're dealing with yourself. Like, I don't think it's so much a body confidence thing. Like, there's stuff about my body I don't like. But at the same time, I think it's just my personality. It's like, this is who I am. Like, there's no hiding it from you. Like, why hide it? Mm-hmm. Because, like, whether you like it or don't like it, like, this is what you're dealing with now.
Right.
This is what you bought. This is the product.
I can't return the sender.
No, you can't return it. So you stuck with me. Mm. So I don't know. And it could be a personality thing. My whole thing about bringing it up was that, and my input on this is that I know everyone needs privacy from time to time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some people, when they get sick, they don't like to be bothered with. Some people, when they have a headache, they don't like to be bothered with. Some people, when they're not feeling well, they want somebody to cuddle up with them and be all up in their personal space. Me, if I'm busy vomiting, I don't necessarily want you rubbing my back and saying, "Oh, it's okay, honey." Like, that's kind of, it's not a vulnerable time for me, but it's like a time where I'm like, I probably don't need you right now.
I think you just brought up a good word, and I think you just brought up a good point. Mm-hmm. I don't think, for couples who've been through a lot, I don't think there is such a thing as being too close.
Right.
But I do think that there are moments of vulnerability. I think that was a great word for you to bring up. Mm. There are moments where you're going to be vulnerable, and it doesn't matter how long you've been with someone. Mm-hmm. If you feel vulnerable, and at that time you just feel vulnerable, like, you can't. It's not a personality thing. It's not a genetic makeup. It's just, that's how we are as human beings.
Okay.
We have that.
I see that.
That vulnerability trait. So, but I think there's a difference between being vulnerable and being too close, if that makes sense.
Okay. Give me an example of...
I think, like you said, if you are throwing up and you don't want to be touched...
Right.
That's different than being too close.
Okay.
Like, I think being there for you while you're throwing up, like, in some relationships that are new, that might be considered too close. But that's you at a vulnerable moment.
So the other person might just want to be helpful at the time.
Right.
But at the same time, I've known couples too where one person will sneeze and the partner will say, "Oh, God bless you," and then they'll reach in their purse and they'll, like, wipe underneath their nose.
Oh no, baby, I ain't doing that to you.
Like, I've known people to do this kind of stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, is that too much?"
You gonna wipe your own snot. Now, if we in the store or whatever, and I see you got a little boogie, like, I might, "Oh, babe, here, let me help you get that."
But people might say the same thing about me and you, because what our viewers don't know is that you're a picker.
Oh, I'm such a picker.
And you get personal, almost sexual satisfaction.
I get such satisfaction and enjoyment, even just thinking about it right now.
You guys,
like, I'm one of those
no
people who watching Dr. Pimple Popper, like, seeing people pick blackheads out of other people's faces, like, it really does just give me the satisfaction, to the point where, like, if they're taking too long to get the black head out, I just want to, like, go through the video or go through my phone and just pick it out for them, because they're taking so long, and I just want to see that big, long blackhead just come out of the pores. And
yikes.
I almost wish that I had someone around me whose face was that bad off, so I could
just
pick it. So
that gives you great satisfaction.
That gives me great satisfaction, and I just I can't. I just completely just went into a zone there for a second.
I saw it,
but
I wish this would have been a blog. Oh my God!
But yeah, so I am a picker, and so I will pick his face. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter what we're doing. If I see something on his face, if I see something on his nails, if I see anywhere on his skin, if it's something that's pickable, I'm picking it, and that is just me.
How you are.
That's just what I enjoy.
And so, I tolerate it because you came out when we first met. Well, we got reintroduced, and we were going through our whole "Hey, I know you, but let's get to know each other a lot better" phase. And you were like, "Hey, look, I'm just gonna let you know up front, I'm a picker," and da 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 da. So I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay. So you were like, yeah, if I'm picking at your nails or picking at your face or your skin or something, don't mind me. It's what I do. And, I didn't really know what to make of that. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go with it. But anyway, saying all that to say that people might say the same thing about us. I could be bent over and you could be like trying to get some blackhead out of my back. And then your sister's walking past, and she's like, "What? What are you doing? Why are you, And it's just, so does your sister say these guys are too close? Or does your sister
they say that we're weird.
Okay, well.
Which could be the equivalent to we're too close, because they think that we're just, but we're very lovey-dovey. And as far as the picking and the touching, I'm literally was picking at his face as we've been doing this podcast, and rubbing on his face and on his head.
Which I've been in love with.
So.
If this... I'm glad this isn't a blog, because I'd be ashamed of my erection.
Oh.
She said, oh.
I can't feel.
But I think it's another great thing about us is both of us like to touch and be touched.
Yeah, the touching is real. I just like skin contact, and I like to touch and I like to be touched.
Yeah.
And
so maybe it just goes back to the old thing that as long as it works for the two people, then as long as they're not hurting anybody else, let them do what they do. So to that couple out there who's if you're shaving your man's back, and you guys are okay with it, maybe it's cool. If you're out there and she's pissing and you're pissing at the same time, or you're taking a dump and he's trying to take a shower, then I guess if it works for you, then
it works for you.
Yeah, I guess.
You do what you do. You get it how you live it. You live it how you get it.
Wait a minute.
All right, guys. Well, that is our podcast for today. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We will be back next week. We will be in the midst of moving, so we'll try to get a podcast in. But yeah, from here on, we'll have our little setup at the house. We'll be able to do the podcast uninterrupted.
Oh my God.
That'll be so lovely. We'll be able to get more vlogs done because we'll have a little setup. And
sure.
So yeah, so we will get back at y'all next week. We hope that you've enjoyed the podcast. We hope that you've had a good Mother's Day and a happy Sunday for those of you that are not mothers.
Go make them babies.
Yeah. Say bye, babe.
Goodbye.